hurting right now. So when you start really reading into these documents and understanding and intermingling them to understand the whole process, it's quite interesting to see why we're in the debt and the serious issues that we're in. Because our government is cohorting with these other countries, using our money to implement programs from Germany.
Out of Bonn, Germany. I bet you if we looked up Bonn, Germany,
the word Germany
really
in itself, everyone
history.
thinks, what do you first think of when you hear the word Germany? What's
Hitler.
the first thing that comes exactly?
Hitler. I mean, I don't know what else.
So I don't even, once I see that, I automatically get a pit in my stomach. And I think to myself, something is not right here. This does not sound kosher. This should not be happening in the United States of America.
Well, I mean, if they have this great plan for sustainability, if they have this, how come we haven't heard about it? Is what I want to know.
Well, this is the thing. People aren't reading about it, and that's what these shows
but
hopefully will do.
But they obviously know all about it. They've been talking about it since 1992.
Well, because people are too busy watching football and drinking beer.
Right.
But this is the thing. I think if we break it down into layman's terms and make people understand it and really explain in detail in their communities how it's happening, it can be really scary, and people might wake up. People need to wake up to what is happening in their local communities. You think these things are helping you. They call it urban renewal. They call it redeveloping.
What's a white paper?
And you hear those things and you think these are wonderful, great things, when in fact they're not. These are implementations from other countries that are pushing their ideals on us.
And I'm going to be honest with you, this is all, a lot of these terminologies are new to me, and probably somebody with a little bit more savvy in these areas of science and math and economics, if they really examine this information, I bet you they could teach me a lot about what it means too, because you know, I'm looking at it just on a broader sense in terms of what it means, you know. Mexico City's mayor, Marcello.
I don't know where it went. Let's see. Okay, so
what's this? Mainstreaming new adaptation and resilience standards into conventional urban development projects. So there's a word that is in a United Nations plan and in our neighborhood right here, urban development projects. We've all heard of urban development projects. They are
supposed to revitalize our area.
So it's very thinly veiled between things that bring positive or positive
let me
feelings,
just
like
tell you about
renewable,
right. Well, let me just tell you about one of the
houses.
programs that was in our area in particular, Grow West, who was actually found to be guilty of a lot of fraud regarding our urban renewal.
Right, because they're obviously not paying that great attention to the implementation.
Well, I don't think people understand how Grow West and those companies that are in their local communities and doing redevelopment are actually scamming and taking federal dollars.
And how would they be able to do that? You want to know why? Because their plan's bigger than their scandal, so they don't want to bring attention to it too much. So they help them, you know, scrape it under the, you know.
Well, I don't know about that, because I think our local mayors, county executives, and representatives know all about the agenda. I truly believe that. I truly believe that our local government, the higher-ups, know everything that they're trying to implement. That is, if their secretaries aren't reading.
Right.
The
but I don't think like normal everyday people go to work and say, I'm going to go do evil things today and make decisions that are going to hurt people. People, for the most part, aren't aware that what they're doing has a negative impact overall.
Because they're being told that it's redeveloped. They're using key words to make you believe that these are good things. Mm-hmm. Redevelopment, sustain, to any time to sustain anything. How could you see that in a negative fashion, right? So they always use those kinds of words. But the thing that gets me the most is that a lot of these are funded by banks, like the World Bank, right there.
Of course.
Facing with Andrew Steer of the World Bank.
But let me just tell you that money is being shipped offshore by these bigger banks like J.P. Morgan and Bank of America. They sold tons of fraud throughout the world, and they are. And the students, that's another thing. Their tuition, their loans, that's coming at us too. That's the next bubble that I heard is going to hit. You know, it's the shock and awe. Something bad happens, and we want them to take care of it. And trust me, they have a plan ready, put into action to help you feel like they're doing their job. So, you know, you have to stay on top of it and see things for what they are. And the only way to do that is to have knowledge and information.
Well, this likely also goes into climate change, which is another serious issue, especially where we are in
Another
upstate
thing
New
that
York.
I want to tell people too is that there's a huge initiative, April this year, look for it, April 2012. They will be having a huge conference to educate people on climate change, teachers. 70%, that was a ratio. I found that on the Department of Defense contracts we'll try to put the link on the attachment.
And anyone can go?
Yeah, you can go check it out. But it's under needs, like facilities for meetings.
Right, but what I'm asking you is anyone can go to this conference, or is it for teachers only? Is it
it's
a
by
New York
invite.
State thing?
Yeah, it's to target teachers
Okay.
and stuff. And they have
So it's
percentages
in
of
New York State, because remember, we're not going to just be in New York State. So it's in New York State, right?
the meeting.
This conference you're talking about is in New York State?
No, they were taking bids. I don't know where it's going to be yet, because they were taking bids on the.
So it's a global conference.
Right, they basically put the information out there for people to bid on accommodating the event.
Okay.
So they said it's going to be this many people, it's going to be, I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, I'd have to be looking at it to say, but that's just another way to put the pieces together. They are getting together, and the title of it is Climate Change, Education about Climate Change. Teachers K through 12 was 70% they wanted to
Well,
influence.
that's funny you say that, because in this Ikely.org, that's exactly what they talk about. It says many of the world's cities are already feeling the effects of climate change, such as more powerful and frequent storms, longer dry seasons and droughts, or more severe flooding. Because of this, the world's cities and local governments are also at the forefront of the adaptation and resilience.
So resilience
building.
building. So something's going to happen where we're going to have to become resilient.
That's what it makes me believe.
Right.
And that, I'm not really sure why they say that the
And
effects on
basically,
climate...
you're probably pretty much out of your realm if you don't believe in a false flag operation. So, because
Well-
you're not gonna. If you can't let that into your mind, there's no way you can let this in. So you're gonna have to just get rid of that paradigm. And just
Also,
get rid of that.
it says that what I would really just be concerned about with that paragraph alone is the climate change issue. And the reason I would be concerned about that is because I just read recently on another website, NASA, and we'll put that link up as well, that discusses the climate change and cirrus clouds and how that ties in.
Oh yeah, we got this. That's what I'm saying. This plan, it incorporates everything. It's hard.
Right.
It's smart growth. It's
New World Order.
New World Order. It's FEMA camp. It's
Ikely.
all that kind of stuff. And people really need to start evaluating these things, because the plan doesn't speak in our favor for the average human being. And
Obviously.
I think that we really need to start examining the rules and laws that govern our
And
lives.
that's what we're going to do on our next show, and we're going to break it down little by little and discuss specific topics.
We're going to expose, examine, and connect you to Agenda 21. See you later.